Yo Wagwan, hope you're having a great day. In this video, I want to discuss the difference between Stripe versus PayPal for selling digital products online. So this will help you out if you want to sell products online, especially digital products for your business, for your creative career and whatnot, and you're trying to understand whether you should use Stripe or whether you should use PayPal or whether you should use both. This video is going to help you out a lot, okay? Because I've had extensive experience with both. I've used them both for years, and recently I've stopped using PayPal altogether and now I'm only using Stripe. So in this video, I'll reveal exactly why I did that. I'll tell you the story behind that, and you can come to your own conclusions and see what you want to do moving forward and what's the best thing for you. Okay, now if you don't know who I am, I'm Jay Cartere from jaycartere.com, teaching you how to be better at music, online business and online marketing. This is the #1 spot for musicians and creatives that don't want to be starving artists. So if that sounds like you, click that subscribe button, check out the rest of the content on the channel because you will love it here. So the way this video is going to work is, first of all, I'm going to go through the pros and cons of Stripe, then the pros and cons of PayPal, and then I'm going to reveal my story of why I stopped using PayPal altogether. But through listening to the pros and cons, you might figure it out, but we'll get into that. So watch all the way through till the end, okay? Now, if you haven't already set up your website and set up your online business, you might want to check out my playlist on how to set up your own website for your online business. That will probably help you out and get you into the position where you're thinking about, do I need to get Stripe or PayPal? I'll leave that linked in the description. I'll probably have it linked in the cards and all that sort of stuff, but let's get straight into this, okay? Pros and cons for Stripe, okay? Pros: you don't get any disputes, any credit card disputes, any payment disputes when you use the 3D secure feature in Stripe. In Stripe, there's an option for you to enable something which is called 3D secure. Now, what is 3D secure? 3D secure is a system which verifies the payment that people make before it goes through. So for example, if you've ever been shopping online with your credit card, your debit card and what have you, if it's like a Visa debit card, I think that's the way it works, and you put in your DLs, it will then take you to another page where you'll need to confirm your DLs or go through some extra security steps in order to make sure that you're not doing fraud on the card, basically. So what that does is it adds an extra layer of security, so people who are fraudsters, people who are trying to do fraud, cannot make purchases with you. And that's the main reason why it exists. But what it also does is it puts the responsibility on the credit card company for any chargebacks or anything like that, because they've gone through this second security check. So now, if there are any chargebacks or anything of that sort, it won't go to you, it won't be taken out of your account, you won't even know about it, yeah? The credit card company has to deal with that out of their own pocket. So if someone's like, hey, I wanna just steal from you, basically, I wanna buy something from you, and then, I don't know, 30 days later, I wanna do a chargeback and call up my credit card company, the credit card company is gonna say, nah, cuz we saw that they were using 3D secure and it was you that made the purchase, so sling your rook. That's how that works, and that's a great feature, okay? That's the main reason why I'm over here on Stripe, and I'm like, thank you, Stripe. In the past year, I've had 0 disputes on Stripe. Now, I think a year before that, or even the year before that, I had many more disputes on Stripe, maybe around 22 or something. But you got to have less than 2%, otherwise, you know, they send you emails and they're like, you know what, if you got too many disputes, you might close down your account. But ever since I enabled 3D secure, no disputes, none of that, none of the stress. All of that's just off my shoulders, and I don't even have to worry about that anymore. So that is a very, very big pro for Stripe. Second pro for Stripe is your money is automatically sent to your bank account every few days. You don't have to manually log in to Stripe and withdraw your account balance, and this just makes things more convenient so that you don't have to manually do it, and it's just automatically done, and you get paid every 3 to 5 days. I think, I don't remember the exact schedule, but I've also unlocked it that I can just get paid the next day, but we'll talk about that in a second. The third pro for Stripe is their customer service. Their online customer service is very good. I've had email conversations with people from Stripe, and they generally rarely want to help you out. Like, they want to help do what's best for you. If you're going through a dispute, you can contact them and they'll give you information on how to combat that dispute and how to get through that. And if you want to send them, you know, your evidence to get them to check it over to see if you've got the best chances of winning that dispute, they'll do that as well. So I've really got to rate their online customer service very highly, because they're just doing great stuff over there. Okay, now let's get into the cons. So a big con is that PayPal is a big globally recognized brand. When people see PayPal, they know what's going on. When you're using Stripe, it doesn't even come up as Stripe, as far as I have seen in my online stores and whatnot. It just comes up as put in your credit card details. And the thing is, when people see PayPal, some people feel at ease, they feel more comfortable using PayPal. Honestly, I feel more comfortable using PayPal. Anytime I purchase something online, I go through PayPal and I use my credit card at the same time, which puts me through 2 different security checks, basically. Or layers of protection, I mean. So what that means is, when I'm using PayPal and my credit card, I now have the opportunity to raise a PayPal case if I don't get my items, and I have the opportunity to use a chargeback if I don't get my items. So using PayPal is generally the way that I go whenever it's offered. Now, I've stopped offering that, but some people will just prefer to pay with PayPal. And if you don't have PayPal there and you don't have PayPal available for them to pay through that, they may just not make a purchase with you. But honestly, I believe those lost purchases are worth it. It's worth it for the amount of less stress that you'll get from not using PayPal, and we'll talk more about that in a bit. Also, the disputes you're gonna get through PayPal are probably gonna eat into those extra purchases that you would have gotten. So we'll get into that. But next con is, most people who sign up to Stripe today will not have access to immediate withdrawals, meaning when you get sent the money, you won't be able to immediately get it into your bank account, which can be a bit annoying, and that can be hard for your cash flow, especially if you're a business that's just starting out and you're not getting a bunch of sales. You'll have to wait a period of, I think it's about 3 days, before the money that you've received is then transferred into your account. Now, Stripe have been rolling out a feature where you can get immediate withdrawals as soon as the money is sent to you, but as far as I remember, that has not been rolled out to all accounts. Like, I've got access to that, but I don't know if you'll have access to that when you sign up to Stripe. You might need to be with Stripe for a little while and have a bunch of transactions through them before they give you access to that. So that's just something to be aware of. And that's pretty much Stripe pros and cons. Let's get into PayPal, okay? So PayPal, biggest pro is that it's a globally recognized brand. You've heard of PayPal, right? I think you have. And that branding, that recognizability does a lot to make people feel comfortable when they're trying to shop with you. So as I said before, some people may just not shop with you if you don't have PayPal available. So that's a pro for PayPal. Next pro is people trust using PayPal, which is basically kind of similar to what I just said. So let's move on to the next one, all right? Another pro is you can withdraw your money as soon as it's sent to you. As soon as someone buys something from you and the money's sent through PayPal, you can go into PayPal and withdraw that money into your bank balance. And I like that, because as soon as the money is sent to you, it's now your money, right? Which is how it should be all the time, I believe. Like, that's probably how you expect it to be, and that just makes things easier, especially for cash flow and all that sort of stuff. Another pro is you can win the normal dispute process through PayPal if you're good at communicating effectively and you know how to present evidence and all that sort of stuff, and you can take screenshots and you know how to tell a story. Basically, you can basically win any disputes risen up against you that you're in the right for. Now, that doesn't mean that the PayPal system is going to automatically say that you're in the right and rule in the correct way. Sometimes you'll go through a dispute and it will rule incorrectly, and then you'll need to contact PayPal customer service in order to actually get it ruled in your favor or ruled correctly, because you submitted the evidence and all that sort of stuff. So they do still make mistakes, and sometimes you do need to chase it up to get that sort of stuff done, which is a little bit annoying, because now you have to waste your time, even more of your time, to make sure that you're not cheated out of your money. And another pro is PayPal's phone call customer service is very good, very good. Every time I've called up PayPal and I've talked to someone on the phone, it's usually turned out pretty well. I think that their customer service center is based in Ireland, and I'm a big fan of the Irish accent and all that sort of stuff, but that's besides the point. The fact is, their customer service on the phone is very good. Now let's get into the cons. The first con is you will lose all credit card chargebacks through PayPal. The way the PayPal system works is when someone issues a chargeback with their credit card provider, you're charged £15, and the credit card provider gets to decide whether you get the money or whether the customer gets the money. And in 100% of all the cases that I've been through where there have been chargebacks, the customer wins, even if they're completely in the wrong, which I've never been in a situation where someone's done a chargeback and they've been in the right. It's always people who've purchased something and now they just want a free refund basically, and they haven't even contacted me or asked me for anything or made any effort to contact me. They just went through the chargeback system to just get that what they purchased for absolutely free. And they can do that using PayPal. They can just contact their credit card provider, and a credit card provider 100% of the time will rule in their favor. It doesn't matter what evidence you upload to PayPal or what you do with PayPal. PayPal will send you an email saying that they're trying to contact the credit card provider and trying to fight the case in your favor, but that doesn't lead to anything. So I have very high doubts of what they're actually doing over there. It just seems like they hold their hands up and allow whatever's happening to go on and happen. So that's very disheartening when it comes to trying to run a business and trying to keep everything above board and try to stay away from thieves. PayPal does not really help you do that. Another con is their online customer service in PayPal is whack. It's really bad, really bad. They've recently introduced a system where you can contact them online and you can go through their chatbot and then eventually be directed to an agent, and their agents online are just trash. I don't know where they're outsourcing their agents to, but they're just really bad at communicating, and they're really bad at understanding anything, really bad at doing any customer service. It's just a terrible experience all around. Every time I've tried to go through the customer service, I've had to end up calling them because either, they've taken way too long to respond. And when I'm saying way too long, I'm not talking about they've taken an hour or something. I'm talking they've taken a week to respond, and now the thing's closed and you can't reply to the message or whatever because now that chat box has completely gone. Like, they're just terrible at customer service online. It's not even worth going through the online chat as far as I'm concerned. And as I touched on in the first con, people can use credit card chargebacks to steal from you, essentially. Like, if someone buys something from you and they use a chargeback and they call up their bank and they're like, yo, I didn't purchase this is an unauthorized transaction, PayPal will just bend over and say, okay, take it. We'll charge the seller £15 and you can take whatever you want, basically. So that's something to keep in mind. Next con is you need to manually withdraw your money, and this is something you need to be on top about, and I'll talk about that in the next con. But you need to manually withdraw your money from PayPal. They don't automatically send it to your bank, and I don't know if there's a system that does that, but you basically need to go in there every week or every few days, depending on how often you want to withdraw your money from PayPal, and you need to manually get that money sent to your bank account every single time you want that done. It's not an automated process like with Stripe. And I said I'd talk more about that in the next con. Here we are. I've seen a bunch of horror stories online, and I've heard horror stories from people that are kind of in my network on Twitter and all that sort of stuff. And these horror stories usually amount to they've got some money in their account and they've lost access to it. PayPal has shut down their account for a little while and made them do something or whatever, or their account has just completely been shut down and they've lost all the money in their account and they can't get access to it. And these things apparently happen. I've never experienced that with PayPal, so I can't really speak on that. I can't really say, you know, that's really something that you need to worry about. But as I said, I've seen and heard these stories more than enough times to have to kind of warn you about that in case you want to go with PayPal and you want to focus on that as your main payment provider, as I did before I completely stopped using them. So let's talk about that now. I've given you the pros and cons of both Stripe and PayPal, and I've given you some insight into why you might want to use either of them, and, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I stopped using PayPal because of all those disputes. Now, I'm someone that I do not like to let tomfoolery go unpunished. I don't like to allow people to steal from me. I don't like to allow people to do anything to me in bad faith and let them get away with it. So anytime someone raises a case against me that's incorrect or they're in the wrong, I fight it wholeheartedly. And I found that I was wasting a lot of time doing that. Yeah. But the thing about those cases is, in general, I won those cases, and whenever they weren't decided in my favor, I would call up and they would look through the evidence and see that I was in the right, and then I'd win them after that. So that was completely fine. Although I had to waste time now and again to get that stuff done, I still got my money back, innit? The big problem was the chargeback disputes. Now, I've had, I don't know, let's say in this year 2020, I've had about 4 or maybe 5 credit card disputes through PayPal, and 2 of those credit card disputes have come after I've stopped using PayPal. So those are for even older purchases, basically, which with the lockdown and all that sort of stuff, I get that some people just want to get their money from wherever they can, so they're, you know, scamming people and doing fraud basically to try and get their money back, which is a terrible thing to do. But I kind of get where it's coming from. But people will like purchase from me in December, and then in March they're issuing a chargeback, trying to get their money back. So it's very silly. And I know that they are the ones that purchased and downloaded the products that they purchased, because I clearly have the evidence on my dashboard where I can see the IP address that downloaded the digital products. I can see when they downloaded the digital products, and then I can match that up with their actual address that they've entered in their purchase, because with my products online you have to enter your address every time you purchase. So I've got their address, I've got their IP address that matches up with their address, and I can see that they've downloaded the item and whatnot, and they've used the email address that's got their first and last name in it and whatnot on many occasions. But even with all that concrete data and all that concrete proof, yeah, even with all that, when there's a credit card chargeback, PayPal just holds their hands up, bends over, and they're like, you know what, take it. They're like, take it to the bank account, and the bank account, or the bank society, or whatever you call them, the bank basically always 100% of the time rules in favor of the customer, and the customer gets whatever money they were requesting, and you're left in the lurch with the chargeback fee, which is even worse. Like that just adds salt in the wounds. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna steal my money, and you're gonna be charged for the privilege of getting your money stolen. So after that, and after I think I got like 3 chargebacks in a row, 2 from one specific person from like last year, and then another one from a purchase earlier this year. And I was like, nah, stop it. I don't even want to deal with PayPal anymore. I'm not going to allow PayPal to deal with my transactions if they're gonna just allow people to steal from me. Like, there's no point for me to deal with that. The first 2 purchases, I uploaded evidence, I went through the process, I spent a lot of time on that, I wasted a lot of time on that, and then the next few chargebacks, I was just like, forget it. What's the point? What's the point of me putting any time into creating any evidence when it's just always in the favor of the actual customer. From last year, I've seen that it's always in the favor of the customer. So I was like, nah, this is it. I don't want to deal with this anymore. And as I said before, 0 disputes, 0 chargebacks on Stripe from this year and last year, ever since I started using 3D Secure. So just being able to focus on Stripe has allowed me to save a lot of time and has given me a lot less stress, because I just don't have to worry about disputes. I don't have to worry about people buying something and then lying to their credit card provider to try and get their money back, or opening up false cases, which does happen with PayPal, and they just, because they can't be bothered to email you and ask you questions, they'll just open up a case and say, it wasn't as described or whatever, when everything on your website is as described. But people will just lie to try and get their money, or they'll open up a case to try and sort something out with you instead of actually just communicating with you and using your contact form on your website or replying to the receipt that was sent to their email. Okay, so PayPal has a lot of downsides, a lot of stress that comes with it on the customer service side and on the dispute side and the chargebacks and all that sort of stuff. And getting rid of PayPal out of everything that I sell, I don't use PayPal whatsoever anymore, has made my life a whole lot better. Now, every time someone purchases something from me, I don't have to worry about them getting false refunds or anything like that. If they want a refund, if I offer refunds for that product, because I do offer like 90-day money back guarantees for certain products like my course and whatnot, then they have to contact me, and then I'm within my power to give them that refund. I don't have to worry about waking up one day and I've got an email notification and it said, this purchase has been reversed, or there's been a chargeback issued on your account, or what have you. So that's why I've switched all the way to Stripe, and I've had no stress whatsoever through that. I've had maybe 2 people complain about the fact that they couldn't use PayPal, but honestly, I don't need those people as customers. One of them was asking for a discount, and the other one, I believe, ended up just using a credit card anyways, so that wasn't too deep. If you find customers that aren't willing to just use a credit card or use their debit card and pay you directly, then those are customers you don't need, in my opinion. Those are customers you don't need. They're being troublesome for no good reason. And I do get it that people want to use PayPal and all that sort of stuff, but if someone doesn't trust you enough to just give you the money and see what happens, and then you either give them their product or you give them their money back, then you don't really want to do business with them, because they're already entering that relationship being super skeptical. Skeptical, is that how you say it? Skeptical, yes, being super skeptical. And you don't really want to deal with those sorts of people, because those are the sorts of people that are going to want refunds and all that sort of stuff, because they're just already in a negative mindset and they don't want to enjoy the product that you've provided for them. So yeah, use Stripe instead of PayPal. If you can, get rid of PayPal. Don't use it, because you're going to be inviting a bunch of stress into your life. Honestly, in terms of, have I seen a dip in sales? Have I seen a dip in income or anything like that? I think that'll be very, very interesting to you. So I'll give you the info on that. No, haven't seen any dip in sales. Haven't seen any dip in income at all across all my businesses, to be honest. So everything's exactly as it was before. Everything's honestly on an upward trajectory, like consistently growing, which is nice. But not allowing people to purchase with PayPal hasn't hurt me in any way whatsoever, and it's put my mind at ease and stopped me from having to deal with terrible customers and to deal with people trying to get wrongful refunds, and people trying to scam me, and people trying to steal from me, and all that sort of stuff. So next time you're setting up your payment provider for your online business, just think, do I want people to be able to charge back and steal from me, or do I want a system in place that protects me from that? If you want the system in place that protects you from that, go with Stripe, stick with Stripe, leave PayPal alone, because PayPal, when it comes to chargebacks, this is PayPal. This is the legs. this is them being bent over. That's how it is. And I hope this video helped you out. As I said before, my playlist on how to create your website for your business will be linked in the description. You should definitely check that out. My question of the day to you is, what are you selling in your online business? Have you been using PayPal or Stripe before you watch this video, or are you still figuring that out? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you've got any other questions or any other tutorials you want me to make, let me know in that comment section as well. In the next video, you'll learn more about music, online business, and online marketing. I'll see you there. Peace out.